Daniel Kahneman, Noise, a Flaw in Human Judgment. Prepare to embark on a thought-provoking journey exploring the notion of noise in human judgment through the lenses of justice, predictions, and our attachment to narratives. By delving into the book Noise, a Flaw in Human Judgment by Daniel Kahneman, you will recognize the tensions between bias and system noise, and how they obscure our decision-making abilities. This summary will offer insights on the unpredictable variability of human judgments and show you the potential consequences that can arise from the noise in various sectors. As you dive deeper into this summary, you will uncover the factors that often prevent us from recognizing noise and perceiving it as a damaging force.
The difference between noise and bias. Imagine being at a shooting arcade with a friend, both holding BB rifles, firing at paper targets. While your misses are scattershot, your friend's shots cluster low and to the left. This systematic inaccuracy is called bias. In psychology, cognitive mechanisms can skew our judgments, such as conclusion bias, leading to life-changing consequences. The variability of judgments in a system that are inconsistent from one another is called system noise, which is a significant issue in areas prone to noise, such as predictions. We must examine our paper target at arm's length to differentiate noise and bias. The fallibility of bail judges. When it comes to deciding bail, judges face a crucial responsibility that can make or break a defendant's life and liberty. While judges rely on their experience and the available information to make predictions, they often fall short of accuracy due to their human biases and limitations. In contrast, algorithms and simple formulas that consider objective factors have shown to outperform human judges in predicting outcomes. This highlights the danger of subjective judgments and the need for a more objective and data-driven approach to criminal justice. Although experts with years of training and experience may believe they have the best answer, the power of emotional reward often blinds them to the limitations of their predictions. Thus, bail judges and other professionals must recognize the fallibility of human judgment and embrace the potential of technology to achieve more equitable and efficient outcomes. The trouble with noise. Humans prefer stories over statistics, but noise resists narrative. The book argues that the effect of noise is significant and pervasive but often ignored because it doesn't make for a good story. Bias captures our attention because it has a causal force, while noise can only be detected statistically. As humans, we perceive randomness as bias and miss the true impact of noise in complex systems. The authors urge us to pay attention to noise and design systems that reduce it to improve decision-making in areas such as the justice system, hiring, and admissions. Turning down the noise with the wisdom of crowds. Wherever there's human judgment, there is noise, but we can cancel it out through the wisdom of crowds. In this book summary, we recap the phenomena of the wisdom of crowds effect. We discover that averaging multiple independent judgments on a single question can bring us close to the truth. The wisdom of crowds phenomenon was discovered by Francis Galton, who came across an ox weighing competition at a county fair in 1906. Although none of the 800 villagers guessed the correct weight, Galton found that when he calculated the mean of the estimates, it was nearly perfect. This discovery led to the conclusion that averaging independent judgments from multiple judges can cancel out noise and bring us close to the truth. However, this phenomenon only works under specific conditions. First, each judge must be independent of the others to avoid group bias. Second, the exact same case must be presented to each individual, or the wisdom of the crowd is ineffective. Finally, the wisdom of the crowd doesn't guard against bias, as a shared bias within a group will be reflected in the aggregation and amplification of the group's response. In conclusion, the wisdom of crowds effect can be a valuable tool to filter out noise and bring us closer to the truth. However, it is not a foolproof method when conditions are not met, as bias and experimental flaws may compromise the results. The power of conducting a noise audit. The summary discusses the influential work of U.S. District Judge Marvin E. Frankel, who tackled the problem of disparities in criminal sentences. Frankel conducted a noise audit in 1981 that involved 208 federal judges. By presenting them with fictional vignettes and mapping the variation in their proposed sentences, he proved statistically that inconsistency was the norm in criminal sentencing. The key message is that to fight noise, one must make it visible through a noise audit. Frankel showed that an audit can determine the level of noise in any institution where a pool of experts take on substantially similar cases. The procedure involves determining the bullseye, deciding the acceptable judgment variability, gathering the judges or adjusters, presenting them with scenarios, and mapping out their answers in relation to the bullseye. The summary implies that a noise audit can ascertain the degree of inconsistency in any institution and take action to address it. Decision hygiene for better judgments. Our decision-making process can be less noisy and more accurate with decision hygiene. Like regular hygiene, decision hygiene aims to prevent rather than cure. To develop decision hygiene, the first step is to stop and think statistically before making any important decision. We should aim to take what Kahneman calls the outside view, frame every case in reference to a body of other similar cases. To avoid premature intuition, we should resist judgment that feels right and save the emotional reward for a judgment that jibes with a well-founded view of what's most likely. Additionally, creating a judgment that's both complex and coherent is emotionally rewarding, but it can mislead us. Finally, breaking tough cases into separate questions and handing them off to independent judges can prevent irrelevant information from clouding our judgment. Eliminating noise in sentencing. The book discusses the impact of the Sentencing Reform Act, which brought about a significant reduction in sentencing variability, thereby reducing noise in sentencing. However, when the act was repealed, the disparity in harsh sentences returned due to judges' personal values. The author emphasizes that the ultimate goal of judgment should be accuracy, not personal expression. To achieve this, judges must first agree on the same bullseye and the auditors must invite them to create test scenarios. Judges must also take part in formulating practical, system-specific rules to balance the reduction of noise with other costs. The book highlights that eliminating noise in decision-making is crucial to prevent personal tragedy, injustice, and erosion of faith in institutions.
In conclusion, Noise, A Flaw in Human Judgment, exposes the realms of human judgment that are closely influenced by noise and bias, with far-reaching consequences on justice, education, and other essential aspects of life. The book demonstrates the importance of identifying noise by implementing noise audits and adopting decision hygiene practices to reduce its effects. While noise might appear to be an inevitable component of our world, understanding its nature and working consciously to mitigate its impact are crucial steps in improving the quality of judgments and fostering better outcomes in various domains. By grasping these takeaways, readers will be able to recognize the pervasive influence of noise and work towards a more accurate and dependable decision-making process.